Okay.
That's fine. We'll just go for it. All right. Are we live now? Okay, hold on. All right. So if we are live, back after figuring out some fun stream issues, I'm Taconuva with Man Walrus. I think we got everything figured out. The internet is just fighting with us today. But how are you doing today?
Good. Better late than never, I guess. We got the stream going finally, and I'm looking forward to some great games today. First up, though, we've got the number 4 seed Nevada Guillotine up against the number 5 seed New Jersey Hunt. And don't let the seed difference fool you. New Jersey, I think, are definitely the favorites coming into this game.
Yeah, it seems like it, just based on rank and also having seen their previous scrim games and just heard through the grapevine. It does seem like New Jersey is probably favored here.
Yeah, so I casted their scrim 2 days ago against Illinois, and Illinois on paper they're a better team. And they won in 19 minutes against them. So it's going to be interesting to see what Nevada does to try and basically stop this pretty premier mid jungle duo of TommyToeSucker and Dwomanibear.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are already getting into the pick and ban phase.
Yeah.
A little bit delayed on my side. Yeah.
Yeah. We also can't really see it, so we'll get there. Okay.
There we go. Okay. Yep. So first, Nevada has banned away the Hecarim, Yumi, and Ash, and then New Jersey banned away the Zac, Ezreal, and Thresh. And Nevada's first locking that Caitlyn, even after the nerfs, still a really, really strong first pick. So that's not too surprising.
Yeah, none of these picks are really shocking. Xamurath, the support for New Jersey, he plays a ton of Yumi. It's his, it's kind of his like wheelhouse champion because he's not really 100% a support main. He plays like a lot of ADCs too. He's been trying out tankier stuff like the Leona that we saw on the screen here or in the scrim the other day. And Jhin being picked up signals that he might be looking for something else that's fairly aggressive. The Zac ban is really, really targeted towards Jobus. He is basically, Zac is by far his best champion. He's got 70% win rate on it in solo queue, really good KDA. And then his next two champions, he has a 32% win rate on Sedge and a 26% win rate on Vi. So I'm pretty sure they saw that and were like, I'm just going to take it out as the Morg comes out early, probably to deny that Kate Morg lane. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think Jhin is an obvious response into Caitlyn just because he can match the range and it doesn't do too bad in the lane. Morgana is also good to take away from the Caitlyn. I know Morgana can get pretty easily countered by some supports, so it's a little risky to lock it in early maybe, but probably won't hurt him. And then they're going to lock in the Shen, probably top lane, but maybe jungle, depending on what the jungler likes to play. And looking at the Rakan, which would be interesting for Caitlyn. I don't know if that's a super great synergy there, but maybe.
Yeah, so I would agree with you. The Rakan's not great, but yeah, he's on Braum. Now, Jobus, he has been playing jungle Shen. I've seen it in his match history recently. So this could be River Shen. You love to see it. And yeah, Caitlyn Braum. I'm not a huge fan of Braum, right? So some background, right? I'm a tank support player. I main tanks. I main tank supports for years and years. You can look back at my solo queue history. I've played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ranked games of Braum, and I think he's kind of bad right now for a lot of reasons. He doesn't really match. Oh, that's actually really interesting, by the way, a brand pick.
With the Morgana. So, yeah, I would almost say
it's probably mid.
It could be mid, Morg, or brand. Morg mid is almost more likely, but
both of these champions are also really weird niche junglers.
That's true.
Okay, so this was a mistaken draft. The brand was actually an Orianna.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, that makes a lot more sense. But anyway, back to this Braum pick. I think he's kind of not a super great champion in this day and age, just with the way things have progressed with power creep in League. He doesn't really do too well into poke supports like Morg, because he doesn't really have much poke damage himself, A, or just regular damage, B. He's very reliant on his AD carry, and AD carry doesn't really run the lane anymore. It's all through the support. He's also not as tanky as a lot of the tank supports. He doesn't really have a ton of flashy engage either that you can just instantly pull. And also, he can't abuse Aftershock. he has to take Guardian. So a lot of the things where you would see that is it's probably fine because Kate gives you a lot of lane prio, but I really do wish that he picked something different with the Caitlyn. You know, maybe opting for something more enchanter or mage-like, which is not something I advocate for often, obviously, as a tank support player. But when you see the Morg, when you see the Morg, it's just going to stuff any melee support. And I think Braum is, you know, not super great in the meta right now, as we do see Lilia picked up there.
Yep, they lock in the Lilia, and during the ban phase, they did ban away Olaf and Renekton, trying to keep that top side, you know, trying to keep some of those strong picks there away. And then, interestingly, so supposedly the brand is an Orianna, but I do see that New Jersey banned away the Orianna and the Lissandra, so maybe the Orianna is actually something else too.
I think what it looks like is they're just eating that as like a lost ban because they messed up.
Sure.
You know, admirable for them, as the Vel'Koz is locked in here for Psychopath. I was worried about his champion pool. This is something I wanted to hit on, as we are seeing Yorick. The mid and top have some really, really interesting champion
Very interesting comp. Wow.
On this team, yeah. So Psychopath, he's an ADC main. He plays very few mid champions. Vel'Koz is one of them. I'm very worried for him up against Tommy here, because what we saw from Tommy the other day was against another autofill gold mid laner. It wasn't pretty, just to say the least. So it's going to be interesting to see if Psychopath can step up where Illinois faltered. And Jax, Yorick Jax, that's going to be a very interesting top lane matchup, to say the least. I'm excited to see that.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that's our draft. So looking just at the two comps, what do you favor here?
So I think I really still favor New Jersey after this. They just generally have, you know, it looks like a better comp, as well as better individual players for the most part. In, you know, actually every role they have high ranked players on paper. I watched them dismantle Illinois the other day, and it was a really, really convincing performance, because when you look at this New Jersey team and you look at the teams in the league, right, there's the obvious top of the table teams, right? Like your North Carolinas, your Minnesotas, right? Your Iowas, obviously. And then there's the obvious bottom of the table teams. And then there's like an upper tier alphabet soup of like a bunch of teams where they just have a wide variation of ranks, some gold players, some plat players, and you don't really know where they're going to land, right? In terms of the grand scheme of things, how deep into the tournament they're going to go. Now, obviously, the winner of this plays North Carolina or Connecticut, so I'm not sure how much further they're going to go. But this team, actually, this New Jersey team, I was really, really impressed with them in that scrim they played against Illinois, because they played really, really well as a unit, as a cohesive unit. Especially, I was surprised with Tommy, because he put up these insane KDAs. He went like 22-0-5 in the series or something. I don't remember the exact amount of assists, but he was roaming all over the map constantly, taking these really, really weird team-centric item builds. Like, he was rushing GLP every game. He was giving up his waves to go basically get his jungler ahead. And I think that's really, really powerful, especially when you have a big jungle matchup like this in the series. So I'm really excited to see how New Jersey do in the wider tournament, because I actually think this team is better than the sum of their parts.
Yeah, no, I definitely would agree based off the results. And also the draft. I mean, as long as the Orianna is actually coming in instead of the brand, I would definitely give the edge to New Jersey. But Nevada has some interesting options with the Shen, for sure. Shen jungle is really, really strong. And maybe this Yorick's just going to pop off and run away with the game, because I definitely have seen that happen in my solo queue games. But we'll see.
Yeah, Yorick is a really, really interesting pick, because he seems to be useless, or like in some games and like in certain matchups, and nobody knows when this is going to happen. He suddenly just becomes a force of nature, and he's taking like inhib towers at like 20 minutes. And I'm not really sure why or how. This champion, kind of an enigma. People don't really play him very often, so the rare times you see Yorick, you're like, well, what am I going to get here? I don't really know how well he's going to do. Yeah, I'm really interested to see this top lane, how it develops, because Peelz also did super well. Obviously, he was on a lot of tanks in the last series. He played Ornn to great effect in that scrim the other day versus Illinois. So it's going to be interesting to see him on, a more carry pick, especially into something as weird as Yorick. Because a lot of people as well, Yorick has the buff that a lot of underplayed champions have, right? And it's that basically nobody ever sees them. No one ever knows really how to play against them. So occasionally you could just get blindsided by that weird pick, and you're like, what happens? So you get solo kill a couple times, and suddenly Yorick and his goons are just destroying you, and you have no idea what to do against him. So it's definitely a possibility. And I think that's definitely something that Nevada have to try to, I guess, focus to get into this game, is try to get the top side ahead. It's definitely one of their few ways in, because I think just on sheer rank alone, their bot lane is a little outmatched, and their jungle is especially outmatched.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll see what happens. It is going to have to come down to some surprise strats, I think, for Nevada to get the W here. But crazier things have happened. If they get a good start, and Caitlyn can just run away with the game, and Yorick's putting pressure on the top side, it might be pretty hard for New Jersey to deal with it.
Because
for sure,
this is a scary team comp, right? If this Braum and the Shen can protect, basically, and Yorick can just do his thing in a side lane. Vel'Koz, Caitlyn, very, very, very strong if they can get rolling. I will say that, because they're going to have to get on top of them. And it's really interesting because neither of these teams really has super great go buttons on them. Jax can look for a flank. Lilia, if she hits a swirl seed and gets a good sleep. Orianna, like a fantastic flash shockwave. There's ways to get in. More can flash into the team. And on the other side, there's the Shen flash taunt. Braum can maybe do his flash Q or flash ult, but neither of these teams have really, really great engage. And I think that's something to maybe look at, because I think that's something that could throw a wrench into one of these teams' plans. Like, what happens if Nevada gets ahead and New Jersey just doesn't have a go button to get in? Do we see an upset? Potentially. It's definitely a way in for Nevada, because they have a lot of peel for those carries. Alternatively, though, they could just get rolled by Dwomanibear, which we saw in the Illinois series. But we'll have to wait and see for that.
Yeah, I mean, it could go either way for sure. I know Nevada, I can imagine with the comp that they have, if they are ahead, they're going to be able to siege really, really hard. Caitlyn, Caitlyn pushing mid, Yorick up in top lane, creating pressure, Vel'Koz throwing out geometry from really far away. That's the name of the ability, by the way, actually. I'm kidding. And with so much safety from the Shen and Braum, it could be a really solid way to slowly siege in and just kind of take control. It could also just become kind of an NA ram with these teams when you have a Jhin and Caitlyn just kind of throwing stuff back and forth at each other, and maybe not getting much done with the towers too. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I do want to highlight this bot lane as well. Caitlyn Braum versus the Jhin Morgana. And when you look at this, Nevada, they first picked the Caitlyn. I think they were looking to maybe try to get some control over this bot lane early game, just because, on ranks, they're pretty outmatched by New Jersey. But unfortunately, they did opt for Braum. So I actually think that Jhin Morg is a stronger 2v2 than Braum Caitlyn. And that is a bit of a hot take, but Caitlyn just got nerfed. And Jhin has always been really, really potent. Plus, the pick combo between Morgana and Jhin is really, really potent. And Morgana just shuts down anything Braum wants to do. I mean, look, like, you have to be asleep at the keyboard if you miss a black shield on Braum. Like,
it's true.
They got to auto 4 times before the stun pops. Like, it's just...
It's true. It's very telegraphed for that Braum passive.
Yeah, so I actually think they still have the edge here, despite giving up the Caitlyn. And normally, New Jersey, this actually isn't something that I love about how they drafted. If I had to take one criticism, is against top teams, you're not going to be able to give away Caitlyn and Shen every draft and still get away with it, because those are two really, really strong power picks right now. And it's definitely a little cocky of them to give them the power picks. Obviously, both of them did see nerfs on this patch. We haven't seen competitive play on this match either, so we haven't really seen how much they're hit. So maybe they're right, and maybe they can give it up. And maybe they're all just, individually better players, but I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work out. I know just from the last couple patches, I've kind of been conditioned to just if I see someone get Shen and Caitlyn, I'm like, damn, the other team must have messed up something, right?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely looks bad when you give away both of those power picks. Now, the most important thing we have to watch coming into this game is the skins, because skins win. I do see that both junglers do not have skins and everyone else does. So um, I don't know what that means in terms of competitiveness.
That's the type of high flying analysis that I can only one day hope to achieve. Um, yeah, I mean, looking at the skins, Jaximus always a solid
That is a solid
option.
skin. Yeah.
You know, there's no skin on Mork either, which this
Oh,
it
well,
could
no.
potentially cause some conflicts
The
botline.
more the Morgana hunt,
Oh, it's a
I think that's the
chroma.
chroma. Yeah, so that kind of
Okay,
counts. It
that's
depends
kind
on
of
which
rare.
color it is. Yeah, you see that occasionally.
I don't know. It's like I don't really know many
I can
people
go
that would
for
buy a chroma for Morg's base skin, but
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they sometimes they give them away for blue essence, so
Oh,
I've
true.
bought those before. It just depends, how well does it match with the Jin? Although with the Braum and Caitlyn, he has this Dragon Slayer skin and she's got arcades. That's kind of a weird mismatch,
Yep.
but I'm totally
So
kidding. It doesn't matter.
we are either getting into game or about to be in game. And I guess looking out across the map, do you have anything that you're looking at? Any particular lane you're looking to watch in this game?
Mm. Um, I mean, I'm really curious to see what what the York does into the Shen, or sorry, into the Jax. Excuse me. What the York does into Jax, and if that's going to be, you know, able to pull the Jax, get him stuck at his tower. If there's going to be pressure there, or maybe the Jax is just going to stomp right away and it'll be a GG. That might be one of the
Level
more volatile lanes, honestly.
level 1 shenanigans. I'm ready
Yes.
for it.
Yeah,
Come
New
on, New
Jersey's
Jersey.
running into Nevada's blue side,
From
but
both
nobody's over
sides.
there. Yeah. And
Oh,
yeah,
they're gonna get seen.
Nevada kind of mirrored it. Oh, they did ward. That's a good ward. They'll
Really
know.
good board.
Yeah, probably not going to have anything really happen since they've been seen. It's just going to be probably trade to the sides, maybe, or maybe red team will just go back. I don't know.
Yeah,
Not
maybe
really
they
sure.
tower dive Yorick at 55
Yeah,
seconds.
tower dive York at level 1. That'll work out really well. But it
Yeah.
looks like Lilia will start on the blue side.
So
And I think, well, Caitlyn and Brum are up there, and
that was
Shen's
an
walking to the blue side too. So it might be like just a vertical jungle trade.
that was a next level early ward from Yorick there, from CCDeath, because he spotted him
Hmm.
out. Usually you don't
Yeah.
place him, but actually they might get caught in rotation here. This might be the chaos Nevada needs.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, they
I'm surprised
spot.
they're coming back in. Honestly, I'm not sure why New Jersey's walking in. They should have probably assumed they were here. I mean, it's not really going to amount to anything, but
I don't think they thought they saw them because they didn't see Yorick, and that ward on the blue was really, really early. Usually, people try to do it around the time the buff spawns, so
right.
that's why it was kind of like a interesting prediction thing. But both these junglers are basically just going to vertical jungle now,
Yep.
which is something that I had hoped was dead and gone, but still sees the light of day. So they're just
Yeah.
going to kind of agree that one of them is going to get one
Oh,
side of the
actually,
map, the other one's going to get
Bokas
the
and
other.
Shen are moving towards the Lilia. I don't think they're actually going to catch her, but they're going to push her out. It's interesting that Shen opted to try to push her out instead of just going back to his own red side because he didn't take anything there. He didn't go for his red buff. And
Yeah, and
Jax is trading really well into York.
yeah, he got that level 2 advantage there, but actually, this is an advantage to Lilia slightly, and Shen
Hmm.
actually isn't going to split the map. He's going to go back to the other side, and I'm not really sure about that decision from him. He
Hmm.
wasn't going to salvage anything, and realistically, Lilia took the Gromp away too, so Lilia is already ahead on camps and is ahead on tempo now because she gets to do what she wanted to do with the vertical jungle. Shen had to walk all the way around, just get his Gromp, clear it, and then walk all the way back. So it's gonna kind of hurt him early game.
Yeah, I mean, Shen's not exactly the fastest clearer, especially compared to being these camps eventually, but that does put him behind a little bit. It probably would have been better to just take his red, take it easy, try to get his levels up instead of trying to force a really early fight.
Yeah, and we'll see if they show themselves. But it looks like he's at Scuttle.
Oh,
But it looks like he's going for Raptors.
York lands his wall thing, but Jax just hops out. No problem. That is kind of a counter
I
potentially.
love calling it the wall thing. We should do that for the rest of the game.
I don't know the abilities of anything except for ADCs, man.
Yeah,
I
I
should
mean
really learn that.
it's pretty emblematic of York. And meanwhile, though, Jobus has lost his Raptors. This is really
Yes.
bad for him coming in.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, the Lilia is definitely having her way in the jungle right now and is going to be
And
accelerating pretty hard.
and if Dwomanibear knows what's happening here, he might actually be able to still double crab the Shen.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Although, yeah, I think that's a red crab. I didn't see specifically on the bottom side.
Yeah, he's actually just looking for the Krugs, which are gone. If he'd ran immediately top, I don't think he recognized just how behind the Shen was. But I think if
Yeah.
he'd ran immediately top, he could have double crabbed, which is
Oh, trying to
interesting.
gank
But
bot lane. The root lands. Q
he's got
lands.
Ignite.
Oh, he barely is living.
Oh, got
And
him.
Lilia does secure it. She might live too. I'll get the TP coming down from the Orianna to defend. And it looks like Lilia's going to get out just fine.
Oh,
Ooh, the tilt over does land, but just not enough damage. I think the
very
Black Shield
close.
didn't really prevent any damage, but, you know, still there. Had enough HP. Definitely a good start for Dwomanibear to get that
Yeah,
first kill on the Lilia and just keep accelerating. She's going to be really hard to deal with for this enemy team.
yeah, and that's a very high risk, high reward play.
Mm.
That's not a gank you would ever really expect to work out, especially into something like
No.
Braum Caitlyn. But it paying off now is going to pay huge dividends because it's going to result in complete control of this bottom side of the map for the Lilia. Like, sure, Shen gets your Krugs, but he actually is looking for a gank here on this Jax, and I think Peelz is dead.
Yeah, I think Jax is in way too deep here. Maybe should have backed off a bit. He's pretty healthy, but I mean, Shen's going to be able to probably taunt here. Yep, there is the taunt.
Oh, come on, hit him.
And oh my
Hit
god, he
him.
flashed. Shen was trying to give the kill away, and Yorick just couldn't get it.
Oh,
That is it feels bad, man. Can I get an F in the chat?
that's a really big misplay. They both had flash and didn't
Yeah.
use it. One more auto would have killed him. That was a big mistake.
Yeah, that would have been really good if they could have secured the kill. I definitely would have
Meanwhile, though, mid
tried to
lane.
blow summoners. Oh, Lilia hits the swirl seed. Barriers and flashes to get out. Maybe just could have flashed, but I do understand trying to prevent the damage because Lilia and Ori can put a lot of burst damage down, even with Ori just having the tier.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to be pretty afraid for a while now, and is already at a CSD disadvantage. So it's going to be feeling bad for him to probably have to back off. And Ori's
Yeah,
going to walk top. Not sure what she's going to be able to do. But,
Tommy kind of. I wasn't expecting much different from the last series where he played against like an autofilled mid laner of like a similar rank. Tommy is just seems to be quite good on this Ori, and he's probably just going to bully the Vel'Koz out. And I would expect this to continue.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the benefit for Vel'Koz is at least a melee champ can't farm. He can still try to at least get something, but he does have to play very safe and probably just sit on a tower and hope to God he doesn't get ganked again. But at least it's not like he's a, I don't know, Kiana or something that just can't even walk up.
Mm-hmm. And
Jax
we're gonna
setting up a freeze.
Yeah,
LS is very happy to see this, I'm sure.
absolutely. He's a member of the church, this man. As he's see a binding lane bot lane, and this is basically
yeah, York
we're
is going to try to shove it in.
Shockwave.
Shockwave lands the knockup, uses the Vel'Koz R, and does die in the end. I understand why he tried to use it because it does do a lot of damage, but he left himself open to another Q landing and just died for it. So valiant effort, but
and there's the power of the Morg Black Shield that we saw in that trade right there. She got hit with the Braum Q, decides she doesn't care, just walks out safely. But actually, Kwola wants more.
Going in, misses his Q, gets hit by the binding. Force shot onto the Braum. Oh, Jhin walked onto the trap.
That is the ridiculously long CC chain that I was talking about with this Morgana Jhin lane. Yes, they're actually fishing for more bindings.
Ooh, lands another one onto the Braum. Her bindings have been really good.
Yeah, pretty
looks like
on point.
York is trying to kind of break this freeze, and he does have the ability to shove that maiden.
Yeah, but he's got backup.
Oh, yeah, Lily is coming in with double buffs. This is probably just a dead York. He does try to go in onto the Jax, but not enough. He's going to die. And yeah, definitely let the Lilia have that kill. I mean, obviously it's nice to have kills on Jax, but Lilia can absolutely use that gold and just keep accelerating. She's already 2-0, 52 farm, got that bounty.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, Dwomanibear, he's Diamond 2. Like he's gonna do well with this lead. He'll probably be fine. And we saw them do it the other day, obviously. And
Hmm.
I would expect that sort of thing to continue. And you're really gonna start to see the CS gap and I guess the gold gap in general open up now in jungle. Now that Dwomanibear is actually farming his camps, is nice bind onto Braum again.
The blind bind in the bush, not really going to do anything, but keeps him from backing off and forces them. They might still have to recall, and that feels bad to waste so much time and not be able to recall when you want. And it's going to
Yeah,
interrupt it again.
Xamurath just being a nuisance down here. That's something Morg is quite good at. I mentioned this earlier. I'm a tank support main, so I despise this champion. This is my main ban in solo queue. But yeah, the Jhin and the Jhin Morg lane, as I suspected in Champ Select, is winning out in Prio over Cape Braum. And the one thing I'm honestly shocked about is that the side of New Jersey, they haven't gone for Drake yet because they've had
That is a good
pretty
point.
total control. Is
They've
actually
had good pressure bot lane.
maybe
They've had
Dead Kate.
Jhin Art is coming through. Is that going to hit?
No, Flea flashed away, but Shen's
Oh,
here.
okay.
Come on, direct to camera. There he is.
Oop. Shen's walking up. Taunts away. Not going to hit the binding or any of the CC. So probably just going to all walk away. Pretty even here.
Yeah, it was
Kalen's lucky to get out alive for sure. But
pretty disjointed right there, and that's gonna definitely be the Drake.
Yep, gonna start with the Infernal Drake. We'll see what the next one is.
Let's see if they can test. It's looking like they want it.
Test it. Vel'Koz is coming in. Shen's here. Braum doesn't hit anything.
Vel'Koz has his ult.
Yeah, I think they're still gonna get it though, because Jax came down to Jax. Oh, Jax teleported down. Interesting.
Yeah, this team
teleport just to help secure it.
This team is very liberal with their teleport usage, which is something that I like. They do it all the time to try and back stuff up, but sometimes it's that sort of dissuasion because, like, realistically, a level 8 Jax TP isn't really going to do much. Jax isn't really the best TP into a fight and just instantly kill people champion unless it's like ultra late game.
Right.
He's more of like a TP somewhere nearby and flank. But just early on in the game, seeing that extra member committed is just so powerful. As Yorick summons his wife.
Oh, Shen is TPing onto the Yorick. The Yorick locks Jax in, and Jax does have to flash. He might have been ward up, but maybe he'd already used it. Sleep down onto the Shen. Oh, Yorick does get the kill onto the Jax, just barely. And Lilia does get the Shen, but trades her life away. So that's a 2-for-1. And that's a big shutdown onto that Lilia.
Yeah,
that's
and
pretty good
this is
Yorick.
looking like
that's really good.
Yeah, so that was really, really strong. And that's kind of the bizarre magic Yorick damage that you kind of see sometimes where you're like, wait, Yorick just killed me? Turns out he did.
Clarity is not champion clarity is not one of Yorick's strengths as a Riot designed champion for sure. And Ori's trying to kill the Vel'Koz. He uses the blast cone, but probably still just dead. Oh, the barrier keeps him alive and he flashes out. So had to use both sums again, but does manage to keep his life.
Yorick and his wife doing the Rift Herald as well. So this is going to be a nice play for Nevada here. Because
is she canonically his wife? I don't really know how that works.
I don't know. It's called the Maiden of the Mist, but I just call it his wife because, I don't know Yorick's ability names.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that's not the name of the ability. That's just the name of the unit.
Yes.
So I just say it's Yorick's wife.
Yeah. You want to give him the benefit of the doubt. He might be assume he's a family man, all that.
I call the little ones his ghouls. Or his goons.
His goon squad. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good here though, despite that small overstep there in the top lane. If you are New Jersey, they're definitely doing well. As actually
Jack's getting a bunch of plates.
Yeah, that's gonna look good later.
Yeah, Jax just scales up. I mean, you can always potentially try to CC him, but late game Jax can be super duper scary and just clean up fights. So him being able to get as much farm as he has in this lane and get those plates is really good, even though Yorick has those kills.
Yeah, so he is marginally down in kills and in CS, but he's taken 3 solo plates as to where Yorick has taken 0. So I'd actually expect this gold to be a lot closer than you would think.
Pretty even, yeah. Those plates are so much freaking gold.
Yeah, if we could actually see the gold, that would be great here. As he's
coming through, pops out of the the prison wall. I need to look up what that ability is. I don't remember. I just know you can break it.
Watch bot.
Oh, Jin. Oh, the binding almost hits Braum. He's going to get sleep. Yep, he's down. Tried to use everything. Oh, or the shockwave on the Ori kills Shen in the backline. Yikes.
York and Vel'Koz are on the flank.
Caitlyn is staying alive. Random binding goes wide.
Yeah, reinforcements have arrived.
Knock up.
I don't think New Jersey want to be here anymore.
Oh, Vel'Koz does not get the Morgana because of the shock or the stopwatch. York is going to try to trap the Morgana, but he's just going to get CC'd for 1,000 years. The Morg does go down. I think the York damage finally came through, but that's all they get.
He wasn't wrong with his name, CCDeath. He definitely got CC'd, and he definitely died. So that was a decent response from Nevada, but I actually think it's pretty not great here because now this Jax in the top lane that, you'd gotten York as kills, and sure he gets another one there, but he just took that entire tower for free before plates fell. He's actually probably looking pretty strong there on that as we move into mid game. Also, that Lilia is 5-1. 3-0 on TommyToeSucker. I'm yet to see him die. I've yet to see him die in 3 games of his that I've casted. So he probably won't be giving that over anytime soon. And if you're Nevada, the time to strike, your window to sort of get even in this game is closing because they've kind of quietly accrued the New Jersey Hunt a 6K gold advantage already here at 15 minutes. And I can't see this getting much better.
No, I mean, because it's not to say that that Nevada doesn't scale at all. They do, but in terms of just team fighting, I would give the edge to New Jersey. I mean, with
but Xamurath
damage and the Jax and the Lilia, it's going to be hard to compete with. There's not going to be a point where it's like, oh, we outscale.
Yeah, they definitely don't outscale Jax and Jin. Vel'Koz going to be really good, but Caitlyn, especially post nerfs, not going to be as strong as Jin in this late game. And I don't know. Maybe he can pull off some York magic, but I think I'll take a late game Jax any day of the week over late game York personally.
And they're going to secure that Cloud Drake, and it is going to be it's not an especially tanky team, but I mean it'll be that much harder to kill the Jax.
Yeah, that's a dead Braum, by the way.
Yeah, Braum is toast. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Easy last 4 shot. Jin Morg.
Pretty filthy.
Pretty good. Shen got I don't remember him even taking the Rift Herald, honestly. Oh, Shockwave onto the Shen. He'll live, but it's going to force him to back off because Ori can just 1v2.
Tommy positioning very aggressively here. It's still going to get the charge, though.
They get the charge. Tower's not going to go down because they just haven't been able to do much, but it might help eventually. Pot Tower goes down. Jax and York both took each other's towers, so now it's just kind of more fighting.
And now we're going to see him fight.
Ooh. Oh,
Stand
York
United
is getting the Stand United. Ooh. Shen just barely comes through. Taunt lands. Oh, no. And Jax is going to get the 2-1. Oh, no. He gets the kill onto both.
Great
it didn't even need to come. Wow. That feels real bad.
Yeah, so if you're Nevada, that is not ideal now because this Jax, you were hoping, Yorick, he was going to be your bridge. He's just going to be so weird that the enemy team didn't know what to do. He's now died in a 1v2 to the Jax, who had previously been put slightly behind, but we talked about the plate diff.
Shockwave does miss.
Yeah, Shockwave whiffs right there.
Oh, but the Q almost kills him anyway. Dear God.
That just gives us a nice little window into what if that Shockwave have landed. The answer is Psychopath would have died.
Yes.
Almost certainly.
Dead space alien.
Yeah.
But
now, this Jax is going to be a huge problem. He's finished his Bork. He's got his Sheen. They are looking to 1v2 him, though, before he can reset, but Lily's on the side.
They get the slow, but he's just going to walk it off. I don't think he's going to be in any danger. Oh, Shen manages to snipe the blue away.
Yeah, I mean, small victories, I guess. He's actually probably still dead here.
Yeah, he did flash over the wall because of the sleep coming through, so that was good by him to keep himself
Lily
alive.
is in trouble.
Vel'Koz ult does some damage, but really not as much as you would hope for. When you're that under level, the true damage just doesn't do enough. And Jin ult, not really going to do anything, but they are going to be able to go and secure this second Rift Herald since it's pre 20 minutes. Not going to be able to contest this. It's just going to be a free Rift. and probably can just pop this. I mean, I'm not sure where would be best. Maybe just crack over in mid more at this point, since there's no plates to be taken, but it's just more advantage.
Yeah, I mean, like, small victories, I guess. Like, Jobus got his blue. Like, hooray. He's now
Right.
down 40 CS and 2 levels.
Yeah.
Does it really matter? He's playing an energy champion, too, so I'm not really
Yeah.
sure how well it's going to help.
It's
Ideally,
true.
he probably would have given that over to Vel'Koz.
Yes. Ideally, you would have been able to kick it to the Vel'Koz or maybe even the Yorick. I mean, obviously, Vel is probably the best user for it, but yeah, Shen, all he really gets is some CDR. It's not
Yeah.
super helpful.
It's definitely not great, and I think Nevada, I think their window to win this game is kind of past now because the Jax is online. I would say maybe there's a world where Vel'Koz is able to carry this, and Yorick is really good, but Yorick kind of got neutralized. Vel'Koz is kind of yet to show his face in this game.
More
As actually
binding
we may see
lands.
confrontation
The
mid.
chain CC, 3 drowsies, 3 sleeps. That is nasty. Shen's gonna go down. Morg R is trying to stun. R goes through. Stopwatch on the Vel'Koz, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna die. That is 3 dead for nothing. For a few ults. I
This
think
is
more
probably
class, and that's about it.
This is potentially inhibitor here. I would
easy.
actually expect it does. They're waiting for this tower to go down, which makes me think they're going to use Rift immediately after it drops.
Yep,
Yep,
there's
there it
the
is.
Rift.
So they're trying to get the tower, the inhib, and maybe even a charge on the Nexus turrets here. And there's not really any response. York still hasn't moved.
Yeah,
York
York
actually
seems
just going to be
kind of giving it up. Oh, well, the Herald does go down.
I think they could have stuck around.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, for them, it's one of those things where they're still so far ahead and there's no rush for them. They're not like, oh, we have to win before such and such gets their item. There's no real example of that right now. So they can just, at this point, if they want, take like very little risk, just play safe, ward up everything.
I think they wanted the inside track on this dragon, but I think they mistimed their backs. They're actually going to be kind of late to this. So if you're Nevada, you kind of want in here. I feel like they might want to try to rush this down.
A lot of control words, though, so
they're late on it.
Do it.
Yeah, they're late on it. But we're definitely, it looks like they're positioning to contest this.
Yep. Oh, Shockwave goes down, and Caitlyn just gets one tapped.
Watch Jax on the flank.
Jax
He's coming in from behind.
Vel'Koz almost kills the Jhin, but not quite. York does get the Morgana. York is trying to get that Jhin, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Shen's taunting away. Is alive for now, but Jax is going to hop to him. York is still alive and dies.
Yeah, so that's going to be soul point at 22 minutes. That's not super ideal. If you're that, the gold lead has ballooned to 10K. And what I was going to say before this confrontation happened is that also another reason why we talked about Peelz freezing the wave, member of the church, a Leandri spot on the Lilia, obviously, even though that's pretty standard. But there is actually, talking of like, LS type theory of stuff. That may have been intentional, not taking the inhib, as we do see Baron started here. Early inhibs can like feed the enemy team gold, because you're realistically not always going to win, in like 2 minutes after you take the inhib like you would later in the game.
You're not going to be able to win right away.
And yeah, this Baron is just gone. So there is actually a lot of merit to the idea of intentionally leaving an inhib up if you're super far ahead, just not giving them the waves of supers in their base.
Yeah, see if you can try to crack a couple lanes at once and get a bigger win out of it. It makes sense. There's a theory there for sure. Now, Jax has his Trinity Force and the Bork. Lilia's got the Leandries, which is just going to be doing so much damage with passive.
Oh, Shockwave.
Oh, the Shockwave. Wow. Caitlyn almost dies from 2 abilities. So squishy with just the Infinity Edge and the boots.
Yeah.
She might have to get a QSS. I would recommend it this game for sure, but it feels so bad to have even less damage when the Jhin has his Stormrazor and is already basically an item up already.
Yeah, so I joked about this 2 days ago, but the common thread here with these games that I see New Jersey play so far, this is the 3rd one I've casted. You got to watch out when this gets uploaded to YouTube. Might get age restricted. It's just a massacre here. Like 13K at 23 minutes.
Make sure you mark it appropriately, yeah.
Yeah, it is just They're absolutely
It's
popping
nasty.
off. They're actually looking for Peelz.
Goon
The
Squad
goons are
lands
on
on the
the
Jax.
assault.
Yeah, but Jax is just going to get out. The wall does not hold him in. Goons keep following, but they are going to die.
All right,
He's going to
can
go back
Peelz
in. Not
1v2?
afraid.
Place your bets. Vote now on your phones.
He does use his E, so he doesn't
What do
have
you think?
that. The taunt lands. Shen and York are
Oh,
trying to
Conqueror,
beat.
though. He's got Conqueror.
Yeah, Jax is just standing and autoing. Oh my God, he did it
He
again.
can.
Jeez, that wow.
And
And
people voted
Jhin
so
kills the
hard
Caitlyn.
that he did 1v2.
Yeah, that's 4 dead. It's only Vel'Koz alive. This has got to be at this point. The Lilia
Yep.
is trying to get the last auto, gets it down, takes the kill away from the Jhin, but he doesn't care because they're going to be winning the game. They got Baron. They got all 5 alive. Yeah, this is probably over. And
They
that's
don't.
stopwatch.
Yeah, so this is going to be the game. New Jersey Hunt moving on to the next round in dominating fashion. And I think this is a team that you can't exactly count out here if you're
Oh.
the North Carolina Glamour or the Connecticut Chrono Breaks, because that's one of they'll play either one of those two teams realistically based off ranks. North Carolina, they look really good. But this is a team that plays like a team. I think they're greater than the sum of their parts, and I think that's going to be really, really, really big for them in this tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe we see a threat of an upset. It is a best of one. Anything can happen in that next round. So I definitely think you cannot count out New Jersey moving forward in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give them the respect for their ability to pick good comps and play together, make those outplays. Can't just assume that that they're going to lose because you got higher ranks, especially in a best of one. You don't know what they're going to pull out. They might try to ban away some of these champs in the future. The Lilia maybe or the Orianna, but I know there are already some champs that they had to basically insta ban just based off of history. So. Yeah, we'll see. They might have a good shot in this tournament.
Yep. All right. So not a ton more to talk about that game. So now, since we're behind schedule, we're not going to be taking a break. We're going to be getting right into our next matchup here. Florida Trident are taking on the Colorado Mantra here, and this game is actually pretty close. I think closer than the seeding suggests. I guess this is another one where the lower seed actually looks like the stronger team. Florida 6, Colorado a 3. What do you have any thoughts coming in this matchup here?
No, I mean for me, I have not been cast by any groups team, so I'm not super familiar with either of them except for the names right now, which I've just seen around in Discord and everything. I'm just looking at their champ history now. ob.gg, by the way, definitely use it. Very useful site.
Yep. Hashtag not sponsored. We're sponsored by aluminum foil though, and I guess
Were we
moving
sponsored by
forward.
foil today?
Yeah, we're sponsored by aluminum foil. That's the sponsor today. The moon has moved on to bigger and greater projects, I guess. So we've had to sort of cut back and move on to aluminum foil.
There's a
as our
Airbender
sponsor.
quote in there somewhere about girlfriend turning into the moon.
But looking at this game here, Florida do have the rank advantage in most of their roles except for support. Except for mid lane and jungle. Those are the two places where they have it. And I do actually think that this game might be closer than the rank difference suggests here. As hopefully we're going to be getting into draft shortly. We'll see though. But it could be closer because I think there is a world here where Braku is able to kind of enforce his will as a stronger jungler. And I actually think that this bottom lane difference, Mytho is a higher ranked 80 carry, and he looks like a better 80 carry than kingpostit, the Florida 80 carry. And their support, Valkyrie, even though Valkyrie is a lower rank than Thighhighcroc, the support for Florida, he actually looks like he could take it to the Thighhighcroc because Thighhighcroc is not a support main, actually. So, there's always that.
For sure.
So I actually think the big factor in this game is going to be, and in this matchup is going to be if Colorado's bot lane can step up. If their bot lane and jungle step up, it is possible for them to take a victory here, and also their mid laner because IBirthday, the mid laner for Florida, He is bronze 1, and the only champion in his ranked history is Xerath.
Do you see that? Yes.
So he only
probably
plays
just getting
Xerath.
it banned out.
So
They can play something else.
That's a way for them to get ahead. So I actually think they do have ways into this lane, and into this game. And I think the biggest test as well is going to be if President Mundo in this top lane, if he can go where he pleases against Nitro Dax, who's Platinum 4, he's the highest ranked member of Florida. Yes. And if he is able to hold his own in this top lane, they're able to sort of if he's able to hold his own top lane, they're able to step up in the bot lane and exploit the mid lane difference there. Even though it's just Silver 4 versus Bronze 1 rather, but it looks like IBirthday, he doesn't have a champ pool. There is a legitimate path to victory in this for Colorado.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just looking at this, it really depends on what President Mundo is going to play. I mean, if he's on brand, he should play the Mundo, obviously, but I don't actually. Probably going to be more like the set that I'm seeing, or maybe it does have Fiora. I doubt we'll see that coming out. I would suggest in this matchup probably play set or Malphite or something like that, where you can just sit top lane, get farm, stay safe. Maybe an Ornn if he plays that. Just try to neutralize Nitro on Florida, and then if you're able to do that and go even or only lose by a little bit and play effective weak side, then it's a pretty even matchup, and maybe Braku can run away with it. And I do see he loves playing the Jax. He's got some set games and a really good win rate on Hecarim too. So if they don't ban Hecarim, that might be a really, really good pick for him. We'll see.
Yeah, Hecarim, very, very, very strong. Okay.
Yeah.
But
love getting deleted by Hecarim as resident representative.
He's a very, very strong pick in the current meta. He's kind of strong at like every single point in the game. He's not, he has a very good early game. He's no Olaf obviously, but he's got a really strong early game, really strong early ganks. Mid lane, he's really powerful, and late game, if you give him the tools, like I've been seeing in amateur recently, a lot of Shen Hecarim, basically making Hecarim invincible basically on the engage and allowing him to get off his burst combo basically and like a ton of damage, huge engage into the backline is really good, as we are seeing drafts start up here. So I would love to see them target the Hecarim, because I think whoever has that champ, I think it's really, really, really strong right now.
Yeah, and there it is. Immediately they were listening to our stream.
Yeah, they just don't want to see it. I mean, this is a reasonable ban here. Now that Shen's been taken down a peg, now that Caitlyn's been taken down a peg, a lot of the Ashe's been taken down a peg, a lot of the blue side, a lot of the big, power picks that have kind of dominated the amateur meta recently have kind of just been knocked down a peg recently. And Hecarim, he really hasn't. He's kind of one of those funny champs where no one really remembers until he gets like a little bit of play, and then they're like, oh wait, this is a strong champion. But I won't dwell too much on him because he is banned. We're not going to see him in this game.
Right.
And Shen also taken
the
off.
Shen ban. The Varus ban from Colorado is interesting. Is there a player on Florida that played a lot of Varus? Or is that
not that I notice? I suspect that it is just I'm not seeing anything in the lobby chat, so I don't think it's a bug. They must be doing some deep level of scouting that I don't have here, but it's probably just a target ban. They probably just want to ban something of comfort off of kingpostit. I actually do think, thinking back, he does play a lot of Varus. And speaking of bot lane target bans, that is Valkyrie's main champ that's in his wheelhouse there, is that Janna. He does play a lot of other champs, but he does play mostly those enchanters at the top end of his solo queue. So this is definitely going to be a test for Colorado to see what they can do. And I'm surprised that there hasn't been a Xerath ban yet. I would expect that that's this. We'll see.
I mean, maybe they just think that they don't respect him and they'll just let him play it.
Okay, that looked like Sedge.
I saw Sedge and then it kind of glitched out a little, but I believe that was a Sedge ban.
All right, it looks like that was in fact a Sejuani ban, and yeah, I am shocked that they are giving up this Xerath, but maybe they have a plan to deal with it, because I will say, although Florida, okay, I guess he does have a champ pool after all. They first picked Syndra. That's very bold, considering...
Maybe, it could be that this is his Smurf account. And he actually...
It could be. That would be kind of upsetting, though, and also his win rate is not nearly good enough for him to be a Smurf from very high rank. But I'm sure he plays. I'm sure he plays other champions This is a very confident first pick, though. I'm surprised they didn't first pick a top laner. Syndra can get abused, potentially, if you play into it well enough. And you're also giving away this Ashe pick to Colorado. And Colorado, like I said, they're going to need all the help they can get, and they're going to need to step up in this bot lane if Colorado wants to win this game. So giving them a pick like the Ashe that has a ton of agency, Ashe Thresh, I think that's a really nice bot lane to have for your team.
Yeah, and I see that Mytho has been playing the Ashe here and there as well to really good effect with that 69% win rate. Very nice. Oh, and the Kate's going to come in for Florida, and the Bard. Okay, I like Bard. I love Bard, actually. Bard's like one of my favorite supports to play.
Yeah, so Thighhighcroc, this is one of his few champs that he plays that support that I've seen in his solo queue. The other champ that I identified as maybe something he would pull out is Galio. He plays it obviously in like mid-top, but it's actually a champ that I enjoy flexing to support myself, and I actually think it would be pretty strong in the right circumstances here. I actually think it's quite good in the Thresh, but we're actually seeing Rumble come out, and I like that pick. That's
I haven't
fun.
seen Rumble much for a while. Used to be a really, really dominant pick in top and sometimes mid, but still got a lot of DOT damage. That ult can really wreck a team fight if you put it down right. So,
and it could be a flex as well.
Yeah, it could definitely be a flex. I don't know specifically how it does into the Syndra.
Yeah, we could see Rumble jungle too. And it actually is worth noting here that I did miss this in Champ Select here, that there actually are 2 subs here. This isn't IBirthday and
oh really?
What is it? TFT Mytho. Yeah, this is Carol and as well as Firebeard subbing in mid lane for Florida. I suppose there was just a last minute thing, and that makes a lot more. That makes the first pick Syndra make a lot more sense, I guess.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be that confident into a as a a bronze 1 Xamurath 1 trick. I wouldn't be feeling super confident to first pick Syndra, but we are seeing more bans targeted towards this mid lane, it looks like. So maybe they don't think that this Rumble is going mid.
They're not expecting the mid lane for sure. They're probably thinking it is top lane.
Maybe we see Rumble in the jungle.
I love Rumble in the jungle. It's pretty cool.
It would be fun, but it looks like this set potentially going there. We'll see what it does. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and the set is locked in. That's still a flex pick too. I mean, that can go jungle or even mid if you really need a tanky mid. So doesn't really show anything. It's a good R4 pick for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a good, strong R4 pick. As Wukong picked up, I do like this.
We were seeing that earlier in the season a lot with like Senna and stuff, but this might just be a top lane Wukong, which is pretty nasty, with the Trundle too.
Wukong Trundle. I actually do like this draft from Florida here. It's a pretty good mix, and I do like the Colorado draft too as well. So I think we're actually going to get a pretty good game here, because I think that Trundle is pretty solid into this set. It's definitely not the greatest because he only really has one like super good ult target, but you can't really go wrong with Trundle in a lot of senses, unless the enemy team has just picked like straight squishies across the board. As long as there's like one tank to ult and some other semi-tanky champions, by the way, because Lilia actually does get a good amount of HP and some tank stats, and Thresh is a tank support-ish, and Rumble, he builds bruisery, so he's not going to have terrible ult targets. I think having Wukong is really, really, really good for your team fights, as well as Syndra and Caitlyn have a strong... they could be strong at different parts of the game, in the early game, mid game, late game. Bard's always fun to see. And on the other side, you got these big team fight ultimates, like the Sleep from Lilia, the Suplex from Set, the ultimate from the Equalizer from Rumble, the Ashe ult. I'm actually really excited to see this game get underway.
Yeah. It should be really exciting. Definitely both teams kind of want a 5v5. I mean, with Syndra and Kate, you want to siege and try to pick people off. Wukong being able to ult twice is always really scary. Bard can set up fights with the R from long range, especially on targets like the Ashe and the Rumble that don't have any dashes. But on the same side, I mean, Ashe can initiate with her R. Thresh can always land a hook. Rumble, if he gets that ult onto 2 or 3 people, can just wipe a team fight. Lilia can do great AoE damage as well. So, I mean, it's going to be an explosive team fights around dragons is definitely what I'm expecting here.
Yeah, so I think what's really going to have to happen if Colorado's going to win this game now, because they are running a sub 80 carry, which is one of their major, I guess, like points of advantage here, right? The bot lane is still going to have to step up, but I also think mid jungle in particular, because the Theflyingyon, he's silver 4, right? Which is, obviously plenty respectable, but he is going against gold 3 mid laner in Firebeard.
Firebeard, that is an upgrade, yeah.
On a Syndra, as well as Rumble. And actually, the Rumble pick is a good mid lane counter into Syndra. I've seen it played before.
Okay.
Obviously, it depends on the player. It's something like, it's a weird situational pocket pick like Rumble. So a lot of that, it depends like first on the player and then secondly on the matchup. But we're gonna see if they can win that and they can get President Mundo to survive top lane, maybe step up bot lane.
Yeah.
Colorado, hopefully maybe they could pull off an opposite, but I think a gold 3 mid laner coming in for Florida kind of unfortunately makes this a lot more favored towards them. Obviously,
yeah, it makes the roster look stronger for sure.
Both teams, though, they do have a missing piece. So cohesion and whoever works better with their sub is definitely going to play a big role in this. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, synergy is always an interesting thing that kind of overcome, rank discrepancies or individual mechanics, right? So there's definitely a possibility here that, if Firebeard comes in and is able to work with his team really well, it might just be a pretty quick wipe onto Colorado. But, if the synergy is not there, then maybe it doesn't work out. Or I don't remember. I've seen Firebeard play before. I know we were sort of memeing about his mid-Varus that he was playing for a while. I know that's not actually what most of the time. But in terms of his champ pool, I don't remember specifically the Syndra. So we'll see if he's got obviously people joke about Syndra having a win button, but you do have to have some skill to, you land your skill shots to actually utilize that pick to its full potential. And since it's immobile, if an Ash Arrow hits or Lilia Sleep hits, you can blow up that Syndra pretty fast. So.
Yep, Syndra quite unforgiving here if worse comes to worse and he gets behind. It's definitely not the greatest pick when you're behind. You probably just get blown up and killed a lot. But if he does get ahead, there's some very oppressive lanes here coming out of Florida. I think that is.
Yeah, they've got 3 really strong lanes for sure. Kate Bard is definitely can be more aggressive than the lane we saw in the last game with Braum. Because Bard has that Q damage. He's got the healing for sustain, which is always really annoying when you pair it with someone like Caitlyn. And you've got the R for starting long range fights, right? So that's a really strong lane. Ash Thresh is really good. I wouldn't discount that. But in terms of just being, if Caitlyn and Bard don't want to go for true 2v2 fights and just poke, they can just do that, and it's going to be hard for Ash and Thresh to compete. When it comes to the straight up 2v2 brawl, might be a little more even. Maybe even give the advantage to the Thresh just because of Flay and the box and everything. But if the Kate and Bard want to, they can just not interact and just shove the lane and keep Ash and Thresh low potentially. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so the meeps also are another thing about Bard. People forget about them that really hurt. Bard has
a lot of
really strong harass on his auto attack. So you get hit by the meeps and then he Qs you, it's like gonna chunk you, or especially early game. So I actually think there's a very strong lane early for Caitlyn Bard. There is all-in potential though if you're Ash and Thresh once you start getting towards level 6. And also if they misstep early too, the well-timed Thresh hook could just end the Bard or the Caitlyn. That's always definitely a possibility. Ash can still skirmish well pre-level 6. Her Q is
Ash
really,
is still
really good.
Really strong. So there's
her
no
slows quite good. So they can, Colorado can exist in this 2v2 pretty well here. And I think a big thing for Colorado is really just going to be how their jungler can play it out in this game. I think if he can get ahead on this Lilia, we saw it last game. Very, very scary deer, just kind of running around, swinging through the enemy team, and
putting your whole team to sleep, killing all of you. Yeah. Pretty scary.
And I think that's going to be what Colorado needs to get past this rank discrepancy.
I think so. One thing we could also mention too is we've been talking about the 2v2 bot lane, but these are both supports that can roam really well too. So it's possible we might see the Bard early roam, grab some chimes, and then, I'm just going to casually gank the Rumble and maybe kill and set the Syndra up that way. Thresh can do it too. So maybe that's the route that they're going to go. Or maybe if one team's able to roam, it gets kind of stuck bot lane, then maybe way. It really could go either way. But
Yeah,
we'll
I think
see.
it's definitely possible. I think something else we might be looking to see roams from is the Rumble pick in particular. If he can make his way bot lane with that equalizer, it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
I would enjoy seeing that.
Yeah. Equalizer is definitely one of the more iconic ults in League. You always hear people in old VODs shouting, "The Equalizer is going down, killing the whole team." So we'll maybe see that today, but does require some skill to place in the right spots and not just have it with everyone. It's like a victory. You got to know how to put it down.
So it is worth noting, though, I actually am not as big of a fan of this Ash Thresh lane as I was Thresh lane. My bad, sorry, in Champ Select. Because they have opted. I'm not sure if you guys on stream can see the loading screen yet, but as we are about to get in the game here, they've opted for heal and exhaust as opposed to the cleanse exhaust from Caitlyn Bard, and I actually really like cleanse exhaust. I think it's pretty strong as a unit because they have strong poke damage, and now Kate's going to be able to cleanse the Ash Arrow, which I think is going to be really big. He can also cleanse the Sleep from Lilia later in the game. As we do see this level 1, we'll see if we see some shenanigans or just a standard 5-point. I actually think that the summoner spell choice favors them. I'm not a big fan of taking exhaust in a lane like this as Thresh, where you're probably going to have to kill them at some point with an all-in.
Sure.
And I'm also not really sure who you exhaust. There aren't really great exhaust targets on the enemy team besides like maybe Wukong if he gets really
Wukong's
fed.
the only one. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're right overall for sure.
I would have.
Yeah, I would say that for the Ash heal, the Bardar and that.
Yeah.
You maybe miss a little bit of the utility. Like it's really good on Caitlyn. Maybe pretty good on Ash too. But
No,
yeah, for the ignite on the Thresh, definitely.
I'm not advocating that the Ash change summoner spells. I think heal is fine. But if they really wanted an exhaust here for this Wukong, Ash could have gone exhaust and Thresh could have gone ignite. That's another
sure.
Potential thing here. So I think that I just think that you're probably the ignite's going to serve you well too because they have plenty of healing on that team as well. They've got the Bard. Caitlyn's going to have lifesteal. They have Trundle. Yeah. Wukong, obviously no slouch in that department. So yeah, I wish I wish Valkyrie had taken ignite on the Thresh pick, but
yep. It'll still be useful. It's not like exhaust is completely useless, but we are getting into the lanes here. No shenanigans happened level 1 this time, so it's going to be pretty standard. Lilia started blue. Trundle did as well, I think.
He started
Looks
red.
like he's on the blue side. Or started red, sorry.
He just cleared really fast.
Yeah, I was like, geez, how'd he get over there already? Yep.
So Lilia is an interesting. Yeah, Lilia's an interesting jungler in that sense, where her her first clear isn't actually that fast, but once she actually gets like a couple items, she just destroys the jungle camps.
Yeah, she's like a Grazer in Italy, where early, okay, it's pretty good clear. But then you start getting some items, and you just delete jungle camps and get your advantage that way. So definitely kind of in that vein, whereas Trundle is more like your kind of typical like pro utility jungler. Or maybe not typical, but more.
He's looking for an invade here, though. This is probably dead Lilia.
Oh, this Lilia is in a bad spot. Wow. Yeah, she kind of just dashed in, didn't see, and just. That was a smart play. Very intelligent from the Trundle and Wukong to recognize she would probably be there. I don't think they had it warded. I think they just assumed based on seeing that bot lane leashed, I'm guessing.
It's just a smart
just went for
play.
it. Yeah.
Just a smart play from Qui Gon there. He kind of just assumes that, he's going to probably take Raptors, and Lilia does have a pretty slow early clear for her first clear, and he just walks up, and obviously Braku doesn't think he's going to get invaded. I think it would have been better if he just gone buff Raptors there instead of
trying to do more of a full clear. Yeah,
messing with, or just gone basically just not taking Raptors. Then he would have been fine. If he'd gone buff before Raptors, he probably would have been okay. But
yeah, I don't think he was expecting. I mean, he is the higher level. The enemy pull anything like that. So, maybe just a little bit of I wouldn't, maybe not disrespect, but just not expecting the enemy team to think of that.
He might get caught on Scuttle too. Yeah, he's gonna get pushed off Scuttle.
Yeah, Bard is roaming up. This is what we talked about. Bard stunned.
No, he's dead again. Actually, he does
Exhaust
still have
goes
flash.
down. Ooh, he's living. Manages to hit the blast cone. Oh, and the Bard tunnel kind of goes the wrong way, so maybe Lilia can get it. But there's 4 in blue side, and yeah,
They're on the wrong side of the map though right now. They got to get back
it's a
to
little
safety.
awkward, but they're not really in any danger. Oh, Thresh Hook lands though. Maybe they are. And Bard does have to flash away. Rumble has to flash the wall. A lot of summoners went down. In the end, Bard blew his flash, and Lilia and Rumble both had to flash. So I guess it does trade out. You know, even there, or not even. Excuse me. Better for the red side for Colorado.
Yeah, I think they felt like they were slightly trapped there, and then they realized that that's a level 4 Rumble, so he's actually not that formidable just yet. They were like,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
actually, wait,
he's
he's
getting
dead.
really greedy. He's really greedy. That was really overzealous, and Firebeard takes advantage, gets the free kill. Yeah, no, it definitely should not have stayed there. That was very greedy.
So remember when I said for Colorado to win this game, their mid and jungler are gonna have to step up?
Yeah, they're the 2 that have died. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame Braku for his death. Really, it was unfortunate that they predicted what he was going to do. But that Rumble stepping up so far, you can't do that against a Syndra who can easily stun you if you're sitting there clearing minions right through him. It's just
That was just a really he made like 2 kind of dumb mistakes because before that he'd actually gotten his flash blown in that play at the river. When he tried to single-handedly zone 3 people as level 4 Rumble, didn't really work. He had to run away.
Yeah, overestimating how tanky and durable he is as a champ. He doesn't really have. He only has the ruby crystal right now, so just not super durable yet. I wonder, is it still good for Rumble to go Leandries? I would assume.
Yeah, that's probably what he's gonna do. But I don't think you can discount the nerves factor here. I think because like looking at this league and from the makeup of it, I think a lot of people here are decently new to competitive, and I think Theflyingyon, it looks like he might just be not particularly ready for the like he might not have been ready for the nerves associated with playing in like a high pressure match like this, as we are seeing another stun land onto him, and hopefully he can get over that pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean he's still keeping up in farm relatively well considering that he had to blow flash and die. So I mean he got like that whole wave. So he's got that going for him. But I mean Firebeard's still ahead, and he's going to be in a lot of danger until that flash comes back up. I mean Trundle can just come gank, put down the pillar, Cinder stun, quick kill, and that would be really bad. So he's gonna have to play very safe.
Yeah, we haven't really talked that much about top lane though. President Mundo holding on pretty well against the Wukong.
Not doing bad.
Doing good.
Yeah, I know we had talked about that as him needing to be good at playing weak side for it to be effective. So while mid jungle is not going, so far he's been okay, but the ult does go down.
Oh no!
Good duplex. Oh. Wow, the outplay. Wow, set is busted. But also,
I thought I'd caster cursed him. I thought I caster cursed him.
I thought you did too. No, you caster cursed the other guy.
Yeah, it was a really good play there from President Mundo. There was a really well timed flash, and he's gonna be feeling good here because he's gonna be able to collect this entire wave.
Yeah,
actually, Wukong's gonna TP back. Braku might be able to do something cool here.
Braku might be able to punish him for using the.
Oh yeah, he's been slowed.
Maybe he should have flanked around the other way.
Yeah, I agree with you. He should have gone the other way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna really get too much. I mean, force him back for sure and trade him.
Watch that.
Oh,
Wukong has backup now though.
Yeah,
he's got help on the way.
Yeah, they took too long. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Syndra gets the stun onto set. Lilia's gonna die soon too. Okay, yeah, they're just funneling gold into Syndra. That is really unfortunate. So while President Mundo's play was really solid on the top side, Braku tried to make something happen, and then instead of backing off, tried to keep chasing. They should have just backed off as soon as he walked into that bush.
Yeah. Colorado, they hesitate when it matters the most, and he doesn't go around. Once again, that's maybe something else I can pack. Like I can, basically chalk up to nerves because Braku's supposed to be the more experienced jungler in this game, but
the hook lands.
Hook.
Wow, through the E from Caitlyn. Hook still goes through.
It also got lost in the particles, but Ashalt was used point blank on Bard right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not really terribly effective at level 6 at point blank range. Not going to be a long stun.
No.
But anyway, yeah, he did get outpathed early, and then he made that dumb mistake because we're seeing a gank top.
They're trying to punish the set now that he doesn't have flash. He is tanky, uses the W, gets that R off. He's using that R really intelligently. Both times pull himself back into the tower. So he definitely understands how to play that champ, which is nice to see.
Yeah, I believe it's his main. So really good from him. And we said he would need to play well weak side. He turns around to dive under his own tower and then is able to escape without flash in a 1v2 gank. You can't ask for much better play than that. But
no, he's doing everything he can.
I may have just caster cursed him because it looks like he's sticking around at this tower, and that's a terrible idea. He should just leave. He might die here.
I mean, he probably feels like he has to do something because the rest of the map is going so badly.
Okay,
and he
will
live for it. Wow. I guess they're just afraid to dive him after what he's been doing. So
was dangerous, though. He definitely should not have stayed there. But it does work out for him in the end. He's able to keep his tower alive, kill that Rift Herald before it does any more damage. And
nerves of steel on President Mundo here. So he's keeping his cool. Maybe not everybody else in his team though.
Yeah, it doesn't look that way. But
Rumble again.
Yeah, I don't have any criticisms of his play so far. He's been doing super well.
Definitely happy to see him holding his own against the higher ranked top laner.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Firebeard, he's 3-0 on Syndra. That's not what you want to see if you're Colorado.
Firebeard. Turns out he can play more than Varus. Actually, and that's probably why that ban came through. Now that I'm champs.
Yeah, Varus definitely was
Firebeard. Duh. Oh, Bartle goes down. Only hits the Thresh. Kaylin has to cleanse.
Oh, that's a yikes flash.
Get the kill. Oh, that's rough. Syndra does not get the kill onto Lilia yet. Does get that. Use the R and then had to use more abilities. Ashe is still trying to get the Bard, but gets stunned and just dies. Oof. That's a problem. Thresh is going to die too. Good equalizer. Might get one back.
Wait, that was a nice play.
Firebeard. That was a good comeback. That was a good use of the ult. Use the ignite too, I think. But I mean, at this point, getting the shutdown onto the use everything you have, definitely.
Yeah,
so I got one back, but it was still really rough.
Yeah, well played there from Theflyingyon to salvage that after it kind of broke down super badly. But
seen the BM from set.
Yeah,
but he's gonna miss the cannon for it because he was not paying attention. But that's fine.
But if you're Colorado, here's a mantra for you. Basically, you just have to sit there and repeat, I will not overcommit. I will not overcommit. I will not overcommit, because that's 2 times now, first in the top lane, now here in the bot lane, where they've overcommitted on a gank and been punished by a roam to the side lane from the enemy team. And, you know, I felt like I had to make that joke because their name is the Colorado Mantra.
I was going to say their name is the mantra.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to hit them with some wisdom, right? And
yeah,
I would say that.
You know, namaste, all that, stay calm. They do scale. So, I mean, it's not like if they're able to stay the course and stay stable, it's not like they're just going to lose the longer the game goes. They just have to try to stabilize and even out the gold lead and also not give away the soul. I didn't see what is the next soul going to be now that it's going to be either Infernal or Mountain Drake. And either way will be a problem to deal with for sure. Oh, the set lives again.
Yeah, President Mundo
gets the sleep down, but Baraku's just going to die of the Wukong. Dear God.
Oh yeah, he's dead. I think.
Oh,
yep.
Yes, the minions. Oh no. So Set lives, which is great, but Baraku just going in too far.
If you're President Mundo, you're looking to make some changes to your cabinet positions right now because people are just coming to your lane and dying to your lane opponent.
Oh my God.
Not good. He's gonna lose his tower.
Need some new court justices for sure.
Timely. But that
was too much. I'm sorry.
He's been playing well, I think, on the set so far. It's just unfortunate that he hasn't been able to get more of an advantage in this lane. Because Wukong now 2-1-2 is, oh boy, things are going bad or worse. This Lilia.
I mean, yeah, she's so squishy and doesn't do any damage. Set's trying to back up the Lilia, but I mean, I don't think he's gonna be able to do anything. He uses the W, a good time, but eventually going to die. With how strong they are, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, just it's kind of one of those things where when you're losing the game, you kind of just poke your head in and you just die despite it. As actually,
Oh,
this is a manaless
Wukong.
Wukong.
Ugh. He doesn't have any mana, but
I
I mean, he still
think
does a
he's
lot.
got him. Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
all right. He does get, excuse me, he does get one back. So that's good. Really, really needed some gold injected onto the Lilia, but I mean, she's still really behind.
Oh, watch Trundle.
Trundle's just good. Oh.
Here he comes.
Qui Gon comes in and just does his Jedi duty and just destroys the Lilia.
So I love casting Trundle games.
Brings balance to the Force.
I love seeing him gank because he just kind of like waddles towards him and then he like uses his pillar and then he either like, okay, he's close enough to like waddle in and start hitting them, or he just notices he's not and he waddles back out. Yeah. It's always fun to see him. And seeing Trundle go for like aggressive things like the flash Q, it always just kind of makes me giggle because he's such a goofy champion.
Yeah. Troll by definition.
Definitely, though, if you're the Colorado mantra right here, not a laugh seeing this 304 right now. 512 on Firebeard on the Syndra. It's
still really
not looking
scary,
great.
Yeah.
4K at 15 minutes. Not as much of an advantage as we saw last game, but definitely not where you want to be here if you're Colorado.
Yeah. One thing that is nice to see for Colorado is they're not like losing towers yet. They're just behind on the dragons, but they're not getting slammed too much. They still have the mid and bot tower. But Wukong's just going to kill the Thresh. The box is
might
going to
get killed by the box, though.
Oh.
Yeah. So
you stay in the box.
I'm going to push back on that slightly because this is something that people say a lot where you're down 4K at 15 minutes. You're like, well, at least they don't have towers. If I were Colorado, I would be more worried. Look at all that standing gold on the map. There's another like 2 easy takes in the outer towers, and then the inner ring too if you're this far ahead. So I actually think that this gold lead is probably gonna balloon even more soon. And it's like it's kind of the false sense of security people lull themselves into. It's like, well, they're only kind of ahead on kills, but if kills and CS are that much, it's not gonna be good. As actually Rumble's caught.
Oh, yeah, Rumble's dead.
Yeah.
He had flash, but I think he just knew he was decided to. I mean, it feels really bad to keep giving kills to Syndra, but with the next dragon coming up, maybe he just felt like he just needs to save in case he can flash R, maybe pull something flashy off. But
yeah, Colorado, they're about to be staring down the barrel of a soul point here at 16 minutes, and that is not what you want.
Nope. And the dragon is coming up very shortly, and it is going to be the Infernal Dragon, just terrifying for a near against to Syndra.
Yeah, I was gonna say, imagine playing against Syndra. That's like she's already 6-1 at 17 minutes. Imagine like later in the game when she has Infernal Soul.
Yeah, I mean she's just that R is gonna pull even more than it already is.
I would suspect we might see an ultless one shot if this game keeps snowballing the way it is, and she gets an early
the Ash or something. Yeah.
Yeah. If she gets a catch, she could potentially go like EWQ electrocute someone to death. I could see.
Easily.
It's probably gonna potentially happen as we see now. This gold lead gonna start to balloon a little bit more as we are seeing a TP mid lane. There's a Syndra flank.
Oh, good flash from the Ash to stay alive, but probably gonna die anyway. Yeah. The Bard almost trolls us by keeping the Syndra R from going through, but it went through soon enough. That would have been really funny if the Bard saved the Ash by accident.
Yeah, and this is looking like the mid tower going down here too, and Colorado. Not a lot to be hopeful for in this game.
Yeah,
they're gonna lose that outer ring.
Not landing anything. Oh, Wukong ult is just gonna delete people. Yep, Thresh goes down. Rumble has his R, but he's gonna use it. Does land onto some people, but it's not going to be enough to really scare them off much. Wukong's still decently healthy. Doesn't have his R anymore, but I mean, are you really going to go onto him? No. Unless you're Lilia, then maybe you are. Or maybe you're just going to get surprised and die. Yeah, that's no.
Eep.
Eep.
Yeah, this is a moment. It's a big eep for the side of Colorado. I mean, it's not going super great for the Lilia. 1-6 now. You hate to see it.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
This champion, we've now seen both sides of the Lilia coin,
Yeah.
right? Last game, we saw it pop
High
off and
variance.
one-shot people. This game, we're seeing an incredibly squishy mage jungler not able to come online and just die over and over again in his own jungle. And yeah, it's just you hate to see it, really.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if it goes wrong, just be a utility safe jungle, right? Because so much of your kit relies on being ahead and being able to clear safely and get your farm. And now she, as Trundle is just taking away the red buff. Oh, he does
he
get
got
the
it.
smite down. That's nice.
Yep.
Kind of like last game where we did see jungle smite to secure the buff, but it really doesn't mean that much.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hollow victory there for him.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know.
More of a maybe a morale boost of like, I'm actually better than where. Bartle is going to save him from the
good
Rumble.
Bartle.
He's still going to die.
Yeah.
But delays, I mean, it's not a long cooldown on the Bartle, really. It's not too bad.
If he'd had backup there,
as
he
well.
would have been fine. I actually think it was a really good Bartle.
Yeah,
like timing
that's a
wise,
smart play.
No one else around him.
Yeah,
the part before it,
too far away.
Less smart. But
him being there, that was a problem.
Yeah.
And sleep goes down on the Caitlyn, but she's gonna be fine. Dodges the hook easily.
Yeah, it's not looking so great if you're Colorado, and I do hate to hammer that in, but they do need to try. I feel like something at this next dragon spawn, which is happening in a minute 40 now. But it's just going to be so hard to do.
Yeah.
They're so behind.
Yeah.
This Syndra now has the Sork boots, the Ludens, and
she's going straight death cap.
Yeah, double NLRs. Yeah. He's going right for the death cap.
I mean, at this point, you might as well. There's no magic resist yet. You don't.
No, get down, Mr. President. All right, he's going to be okay.
Turns out the president in this case is taking the bullets for his the other way around. There's a lot of fun puns to be made with that.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be surviving. They're clearing out a little bit of vision. They have to fight, try to keep them from getting this Infernal Soul.
Oh, this could be a good pick.
The hook. Oh, the clutch hook onto Firebeard. That's really big. It's been really hard to kill him. He only died once previously, so
it's big, but it is unfortunate because he is going to respawn before this Drake, so he might be able to run out here and contest it. But if you're Colorado, this is your way back into the game. If you win a fight at this Drake, stave it off for a little bit, and then have a couple more miracles, there is a world where you get back into this.
Yeah. But I mean, it's good to know that because, again, as we talked about before, obviously Cinder really far
gave up. Oh, wait.
Nope.
They're just giving it. They gave up Prio. Lilia's backing. They're just giving them Infernal Soul.
Off.
I am really not a fan of this.
Oh, I mean, there's still 20 seconds. They're on their way, but yeah, Lilia backing is. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
because that is now.
That's an eat moment right there.
That's another eat moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag eat moment.
They got a really good pick on the Syndra, and then they completely gave up priority over the river. It's not really something you like to see. They
Ideally, they could have established village vision. They are here.
Yeah. They are going to be able to fight, but
they can't just start it.
They did lose that
but he's fine.
Advantage.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, they lost the advantages. We are going to see a fight here. Valkyrie
fighting or no? Oh, Bartle hits two.
Great
That's
Bartle.
Clutch. Really, really good. Q goes through a little early, but is going to kill the Ashe very easily. Rumble ult's there, but nobody cares. It's not doing anything, and they're just going to kill the Rumble.
Meanwhile, on the backline, though, President Mundo goes where he pleases.
Oh, he gets one back. It is a 4 for. So
he just leaves his whole team to die. Runs off to solo kill the Syndra.
He has to try to 1v9 somehow,
Yeah.
This is a Thanos. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. He just runs right in.
But there goes Infernal Soul. So that's probably I don't know,
Ignores
man. That's
everything. Rough. He just runs right in.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in League, there's not 6 dragons that you have to stack like the Infinity Stones. There's only 4. So they're complete. He doesn't have what he needs, and he's going to get snapped.
Yep. Yeah,
Cinder just has to hit a couple abilities. It's a little trickier for her than the Gauntlet. I'm going to stop.
Yeah, there's not like a ton that they could do right here. If Colorado, unfortunately, this is looking like it's just going to be a slow bleed, and they're probably just gonna end up dying in this game, because they kind of did go out with a bit of a bang there. They did get the Syndra kill, but that was really about the only bright spot in that contest. And now this is a 7-3 Syndra. Now, granted, she was just 7-1, but this is a 7-3 Syndra with an Infernal Soul at 24 minutes.
Yeah,
close to completing death cap.
Really scary.
I would leave her alone.
I want to. Is there any chance we can check and see how much AP the Syndra has? Because I'm scared, but I want to know. 282 AP. I mean, yeah.
Once he gets that
doesn't sound like a lot,
though.
but yeah. Well, yeah. Once the death cap comes through, it's gonna be a lot. And considering how squishy the
look for a pick.
Really low level. The whole hits onto Trundle. Hook misses though.
Run!
Watch out. The Drowsy comes through. He is asleep. Maybe they can get him here.
Run! All right, he's dead.
Good try on the Bartle to save team, but only hit the Thresh. So
I would have
a small little victory, but you know.
Set's
trying to go into the Syndra.
Firebeard might be picked again.
R goes through into Lily, but she actually lives. Wow. Okay. And Firebeard does go down. That's 2 Baron buffs gone.
I've never heard of the president assassinating somebody before.
Oh wait, sorry. I for some reason I thought they took Baron. I just assumed, but no. Still.
Yeah, I've never heard of the president assassinating people before. Now he's done it twice against this Syndra.
Yeah, he's flipping the script,
Yeah. This is not what you want to see. Is actually, this could be really good for
Kate
Colorado.
Stepped up way too far and just gets blown up. Wukong is in the backline though. Set ults him into the Baron pit. Wukong, does he have his another ult charge? Nope. Wow, gets the triple kill. They do get a shutdown back onto him. Bard
Supportal combat.
Supportal combat. It's the only 2 left.
Oh man, support
Bard
versus
does have
support.
The advantage though.
Who's gonna win it?
Does a lot more damage. This is not an AD.
Oh no, go away, Trundle. Leave.
Get out of here. Oh, he misses his pillar. It's fine.
He's violated the sacred right of supportal combat. I don't know.
As you can clearly see in bylaw section, you have to leave the supports to play.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely going to win on the Bard. He does have an Infernal Soul.
I mean, yeah, that's not really fair, but
it's not very fair.
Principle.
But it's even less fair than to bring in your jungler. It's really just shockingly disrespectful. Oh my god,
really troll.
Yeah,
literally.
I like that. As they are gonna lose another turret here, and this gold lead still about 10k. It's not as terrible as it was, because actually the beginning half of that play, we forget, was actually quite good for the Colorado Mantra. They got some picks, and then
they're still fighting. They're doing their best.
They're just really fed, and you can't match that Bard, right? He's unstoppable. The Harbinger of Death himself, just running in with Meeps ablazing, just cutting people down.
And I quote, shouting.
He goes. He makes chime noises.
Really intimidating.
But yeah, this is interesting, because if you're Florida, I don't know how many more times you can afford to do that. You are quite ahead.
Yeah.
But if Firebeard gets caught again, this could be really bad. He's gone from 7-1 to 7-4. I was willing to let it slide before, but now it's been 3 consecutive deaths. And it's gonna start to cost his team as this game gets later. If you have an Elder spawned at that point and that happens and you lose Elder, then it's bad. Yeah, it's really bad.
That's true.
And really,
that is definitely a route for Colorado to try to get back in if they can.
I mean, realistically, I think that's the only way that they get in, is they get an Elder and they get a Baron, and then they maybe try to flip the game on its head. That's the only thing I could see working out for them, but still quite ahead.
Cinder Stun, Rumble will live. Rumble does have the double Leandries, but also the Morello, which I guess against the Trundle, I would accept that. Maybe would have been good to get maybe I almost want to say you should have gotten a Banshees or something, just to try to be able to get closer and survive against the Syndra. But more damage, trying to put it on the whole team. I get it. Or maybe Rylai's, actually. That would have been really good. Imagine the Rylai's. That could be really strong.
Yeah, it definitely would have been a decent option, but it's still going to take a lot to get Colorado back into this game, as we're seeing a potential engage.
Oh, Bartle is going to hit the Thresh, only the Thresh, but he's probably dead. Oh, Syndra kills Rumble off screen. Thresh goes down too.
We saw a brief little glimmer of hope there for the Colorado Mantra.
Yeah.
They've been speared on the Trident, though, and it hasn't really gone super well for them since then. I think we're going to start to see this Elder being taken.
This Elder's definitely got to go down. Lilia needs to, like, I don't know,
probably
try to suicide steal, but I mean, the chances are so low. You're under level. Trundle can just secure. Yeah, I don't.
He's not even going to get there in time.
No, they're just going to clear vision and probably die anyway because Wukong was waiting. Oh yeah, no, Lilia is super dead.
Yeah, this is
yeah. That's gonna be the executes going down. Only Set and Thresh alive.
Nail in the
probably
coffin.
Gonna be a GG there. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be able to keep them from ending at this point. I don't think they even need Baron. I think they just try to push in.
Yeah, they do get the stun. They have a lot of DPS.
Redemption going down.
Nitro
They're
Dax,
pretty tanky on the tower. Yeah. Wukong
they
gets
don't really have their main range carries there with them, and that might cost them. As President Mundo.
Oh shit! Sorry.
That's not gonna work. He finally falls victim.
All right, and Syndra. Okay, there's the ace. All right,
this is looking like the end of the game. Like I said, if you're President Mundo, you got to make some staff changes.
Yeah, for the
it's not going well.
Season. He's big definitely sleep. Not the problem.
Oh, Eep.
Clean. Oh, but the stun goes down onto the Ashe. It gets one shot. Lily's trying to. Oh, what? Did you see that execute? That's
yeah,
so far away.
Firing his laser, man. He's just
firing my laser.
Yeah, it's not looking good here.
Stay alive there, but no, it's just gonna end. Well,
yeah,
there were some missteps along the way. You know, some awkward things, but I mean, they had this energy with Firebeard. He did amazing. So
I guess they want Baron, the Florida Trident. They're playing with their food right here.
A little bit. They're playing safe. You know, they're doing the smart, calculated thing.
I don't know. I feel like they could have ended this game like 5 minutes ago if they'd gone for
they
Baron
definitely could have.
That's right. Yeah, I think safe and like sloppy are two different things. I would say.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is a pattern that they're gonna want to keep up in the next round for sure. But definitely gonna be a free Baron, and they will win this game almost certainly. It's gonna take several miracles if Colorado want to claw their way back into this one.
Yeah,
and
maybe a Baron steal if they could somehow pull that off and not all.
Here comes the president, though. Firebeard walks up again into the set.
Dear God. Yes, Firebeard landed 2 stuns. It's just a fight over. Yeah, Wukong's just going on to the Lilia. Wow, gets executed again. That Elder animation, I can't even hear the sound on the stream, and I'm still scared of it.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, Bard was the harbinger of death. Gets like a long-range snipe kill on Lilia. Look at him go. As they're looking for more, they're just looking to end this game. Bard wants blood. He's looking for the Nexus Towers.
Yep. I mean, yeah, at this point, it's over. They're aced. Just gonna clean up the Nexus Towers, hit through.
Yep. Florida Trident. They play with their food, but they quite convincingly are moving on to the next round where they'll be playing the Pennsylvania Tempest.
Yep. Well, GG. Definitely an exciting one. And props to Colorado for doing their best. But, you know, like I said, maybe some personnel changes from the president there.
Yeah. if you're Florida, though, there are some things that you may want to clean up here moving into the next round. You are playing Pennsylvania. They are a good team. And getting caught out like that on your carries several times, even when you're that far ahead, if you're against a better team in the next round, that could cost you. And that is definitely something they're definitely going to want to tighten up as that goes on. But I'm not entirely sure how much post-game we really have time for, because I believe this is our last game today. And we're going to probably have to go to break soon. So you got any final thoughts on that game beforehand?
Not really. I'm just excited to see yesterday, so I'm sure that'll be a game.
Yeah, you cut out there if you want to repeat that real fast.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying I'm excited to see Florida play Pennsylvania. I think that'll be a really exciting matchup. We'll see how it happens when they if they end up subbing in their actual mid laner. But, you know, should be exciting.
Yep. All right. Well, that should do it for us. It's been a great cast. Been super fun. We'll be right back after this. Massachusetts Justice take on Wyoming United.
Yep. See you soon.